If this goes on, don't panic. Bringing hope to the world through speculative fiction.
Hello and welcome to our audio column, Publishing in Africa. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Oghenechovwe Donald Ekpeki. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Great. So, man, you've been having a ton of shit going on, as always. Lately, you've been having more difficulty with Smashwords and drafted digital publishing. First of all, can you tell us how these platforms help you publish, just so anyone who's not aware can understand what you're doing with these platforms?
Okay, Smashwords particularly, and Draft to Digital, they basically do the same thing. They're sort of like they're publishing platforms on their own, especially Smashwords, but they also sort of serve as a manager. They manage other publishing platforms, so they're like an intermediary. So if you put your content on Smashwords, they publish it, but they also splash it out to a couple of other publishers, the bunch of them, Barnes and Noble, a whole group of them.
Okay.
So yeah.
And if you can recount for us what exactly happened with you in Smashwords and drafted digital publishing.
Okay. Well, there's a long story and a short story. I've been trying to publish with them since last year. So I was having a lot of issues. First of all, payment systems, they only accept PayPal. Yeah. They only drafted digital specifically doesn't want Nigerians. I mean, they're very particular about the IP of their users. So mine was from Nigeria. At the time, I was using a VPN because Twitter was banned. So I got blocked from the site and banned from using it. So I was able to use Smashwords, which was reluctant about allowing me use their platform because of payment systems. PayPal, which wasn't working in Nigeria. But eventually, I was allowed to use it. Then, just before I was about to get my royalties, Draft to Digital buys them and sort of exports, their little bit of racism to them. Smashwords shuts down. Smashwords Draft to Digital shuts down my account just before I withdraw my royalties. A couple $100, about 500 or so, and I have to put out this whole notice, online about what happened. So they reach out to me and say they are going to review my account. They no longer want to work with Nigerians, but they are going to review my account and see if they can give me back my royalties in like 3 to 6 months, if they feel like.
Did you ever get your money back?
Not yet. I haven't. I guess they're still considering whether, as a Nigerian, I'm worthy enough to have my money.
Jesus. And that happened a while ago, too, as we're recording this.
Yeah, it happened, I think, it happened, a couple of months ago, like 2 or so.
Yeah. So how have you seen this affect other Africans who are trying to publish?
Well, I mean, there are a bunch of people publishing, but it just so happens that they're mostly using proxies because a lot of the systems, publishing systems and payment system throw barriers around Africa. So, it definitely limits publishing that is being done here because not so many people have access to people who they can use as proxies, who can facilitate, essentially you have to have someone, you have to have an American or B1, someone in the West, someone not in Africa.
Right. So this basically could be affecting everybody. I mean, this is affecting everybody publishing out of Africa then.
It definitely is. I mean, definitely is.
That's crazy. Yeah. So are there any alternatives left for you? And what are they? If there are any.
Okay. Well, the alternative that I see is basically the publishing platforms, Amazon, Draft to Digital, which has now merged with Smashwords, and a couple of them have made their systems. Basically, they've made Africans persona non grata. So the alternative that I see is disregarding them together, getting yourself a whole ass factory and, a multi-million naira or dollar publishing apparatus yourself.
Yeah.
Other than that, essentially don't publish.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that's not a great alternative.
Yeah. You have to get your own platform, if it's a website, one that allows you to sell your books. If you're going to do print copies, you're going to have to print your own copies yourself, or, partner with a factory or a press that can do that. And then you're going to have to be in charge of your own distribution, which on the continent is not very versatile because, there's the problem of economics, and Africa is, low on economics, so on finances. So, yeah.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, is there a way to publish within the continent of Africa that just doesn't exist to publish outside of Africa? You understand what I'm saying?
Well, there are platforms on the continent like Okada Books. Yeah, but the problem is the larger base of people, the number of people that you want to sell books to outside of the continent are not conversant with those platforms and might not find it suitable to use them. So the alternative really, instead of using an exclusive platform that people don't really want to use, would be to sell independently, like I said, your own website or platform where you can sell your own distribution system, which is not cost effective.
Right. Okay. Yeah, thanks for answering those questions. Before we finish up, though, I wanted to ask you about and feel free to correct me on the pronunciation here. I wanted to ask you about the Emeka Walter Dinjos Memorial Award for Disability and Speculative Fiction.
Okay, it's an award meant to cater to writers who are creating or living with disability. It's broken into two sections or two categories for writers writing specifically about disability in their work, and for disabled writers, whatever the focus of their work may be. All of this is speculative fiction, of course, speculative fiction focused. So we're currently awarding works of up to 25,000 words for now. But subsequently, we're hoping that the categories are going to grow into larger works. The prize money is currently $500, split into two categories, so $250 each. We're also hoping that the prize money is going to grow in time with the categories. So like I said, he was inspired by Emeka Walter Dinjos. He was a Nigerian writer, publisher, and he was the first Nigerian to win the Writers of the Future contest. He passed away from complications with diabetes. He was living and creating with diabetes. So, I myself am disabled from a number of respiratory illnesses. So I am also living with disability while creating, and I know a number of persons who are doing so.
Yeah.
So I was inspired to create something that caters to or draws attention to disability, which is a very immediate, widespread struggle in our community.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great. So, who is helping to administer the award?
Okay, I have a number of people who will be reading and recommending works. And then we're going to select an honor list together and 2 winners, which I will be awarding after we do that. So, yeah.
Awesome. No, that's really cool that you're doing that. I think that's really neat, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. I can't wait to see who wins and how that all pans out in the future, and I'll be watching closely.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, you have a new anthology coming out this year. When is that coming out again?
November 11th.
November 11th. Okay. I'm getting like so anxious for it that I keep thinking it's coming out and then checking my tablet and it's not out yet, and I just keep like rechecking over and over again. So
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to wait till November. It'll be good holiday reading anyway. So
yeah,
that's awesome. Great, thanks as always. Appreciate you coming on, and I'm always interested in hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, same. Thanks. It was. It's nice being on